The news at 5:30 starts right now.
Winds, rough waves, and storm clouds rolling into Matagorda as Texans up and down the coast prepare for Beryl to make landfall. This is a live look right now from Justin Horn and photojournalist Matt Craig, who are there right now, and we'll be hearing from them soon. The tropical storm has its sights set on the Texas coast after tearing through Mexico and Jamaica as a hurricane, and it could strengthen back into a Category 1 by the time it makes landfall in Texas. Now let's get straight to it. Our Mia Montgomery and the entire KSAT Weather Authority team has been tracking the storm for more than a week now. So Mia, what's it looking like for people across South Texas?
Well, for those that are closer to the coast, they're going to see more of the direct impacts. We're talking storm surge as well as some heavy rain and those stronger winds. For us here in San Antonio, we'll be lucky to see a few showers tomorrow. Just a 30% potential. Unfortunately, most of us going to stay dry thanks to the fact that Beryl's track has once again shifted east of the Alamo City. So it is still a tropical storm as of the 4 p.m. update in from the National Hurricane Center. Winds at about 65 miles per hour, moving farther up to the northwest at 12 miles per hour. We have seen a few tropical downpours push across our far eastern counties today, thanks to some of the outer bands from Beryl already moving inland. We'll get you a better look at Authority radar coming up later in the newscast. Here's the latest projected track from the National Hurricane Center. Again, it is expected to re-intensify still into a Category 1 hurricane thanks to the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico before moving inland still near Matagorda Bay overnight and early Monday morning before the sun comes up. Then that track passing in between San Antonio and Houston, right now slated closer to Houston, which is why rain chances have dramatically come down here in town. Then still weakening as it moves inland, but providing some gusty winds as well as some heavy rain to parts of the Brazos Valley and then northeast Texas later on tomorrow. For us here in San Antonio, again, we will be lucky to see a few showers. I want to prepare you for more of us than not staying dry. If you do tap into some of that, a trace of rain to half of an inch, not completely off the table. Wind still breezy out of the north at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Gusts upwards of 25 to 30 possible. Our far eastern counties have a better chance. Pockets of 3 to 4 inches and gusts upwards of 60. So we'll have a little bit more in-depth look at that coming up in just a few. But let's send things out to meteorologist Justin Horn. I know you've been up and down the Texas coast over the past 24 hours. Now in Matagorda, how are things looking out there this evening?
Hey there, Mia. It's obviously a little breezy right now. Winds are strong, but not unmanageable. And you'll see behind me there are actually quite a few people still at the beach kind of checking this out before things get worse. Now's an okay time, I suppose, but as the night wears on, this is not somewhere you want to be. We are right along the coast. There is no barrier island here behind us, so these waves are going to pick up even more. And you can see the waves are already pretty high. Storm surge has not really kicked in yet, but we think we could see a storm surge here, perhaps up to 5 feet. We're just south of Matagorda, if you're familiar with the Texas coast here. And Matagorda is probably where we'll be headed a little bit later this evening, a little safer spot further upshore. We don't want to be right here on the beach when Beryl makes landfall, as you said, probably going to be a hurricane at that point. And I do think we'll see some pretty significant winds and storm surge as she comes ashore. A little bit earlier today, I want to show you some video. We headed out to Port Alto, which is on the west side of Matagorda Bay. Folks there were also taking precautions, boarding up and such. And we found one family who had just put in a new shed, and they were basically tethering this thing to the ground in hopes that it would not blow away. A, so it wouldn't cause damage to the surrounding buildings, but B, so they wouldn't lose the shed itself. Take a listen.
We're just tying the shed down so it doesn't blow off, hopefully. But if it does, it does, you know.
It's a new shed?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and their house that they have there, they said it's been there for 60 years. It's been through many hurricanes, and they weren't too concerned about damage there. I would say here on the east side of Matagorda Bay, where we are, is where the concern is probably a little bit higher. And then you talked about the Houston area, where they're going to see some of those rain bands and potential spin-ups. We see that oftentimes with these kinds of systems. And I'll tell you, we drove through a couple rain bands, and this is heavy, heavy tropical rain. So I think we'll get quite a bit of freshwater flooding in spots here along the coast as well. It's something we'll be watching. We'll be here in Matagorda tracking Beryl as she comes on shore. We're going to be bringing you the latest, actually coming up here a little bit later in this show, but also again tonight and tomorrow on Good Morning San Antonio. Mia, back to you.
Thank you, Justin. We'll check back in with you in just a little bit. Now, this is just the beginning of KSAT's live coverage from the Texas coast as we prepare for Beryl to make landfall. So stick with us for the rest of this newscast. And then, of course, tonight on the Night Beat and tomorrow for more of that live coverage. Courtney.
It will be a deadly storm for people who are directly in that path.
A stern warning from Acting Governor Dan Patrick as the Texas coast prepares for the impact of Tropical Storm Beryl. The storm weakens from a hurricane after tearing through Jamaica and the Yucatan Peninsula, and it is now headed for Texas. Patrick is standing in for the governor, who's on a previously scheduled trip out of the country. Patrick explained Beryl could strengthen back into a Category 1 hurricane by the time it makes landfall, but the strength of the storm is not an excuse to overlook that potential danger. 121 counties as far inland as Bowie and Dallas are under disaster declarations as the track of the storm continues to shift. Patrick said being prepared is as easy as trusting your local officials and staying aware of the forecast.
All communities inland should be prepared for heavy rain and potential flooding, and that's why you need to listen to your local officials as well in your local forecast for where you live.
And if anyone knows the importance of paying attention to those local warnings, it's the people still recovering from Hurricane Harvey. That record-setting disaster happened nearly 7 years ago, but it's still fresh on the minds of people living up and down the coast and around Houston as well. Many of them already taking steps to fend off Beryl, no matter how weak it may appear before landfall.
But you know, this place is still recovering from Harvey. There's still a lot of slabs that are missing from Harvey still.
The American Red Cross is among several organizations helping Texans prepare for the impact. The Red Cross has deployed more than 300 volunteers from across the country to Texas coasts ahead of the storm. Red Cross shelters are now open in Houston, Galveston, Corpus Christi, and in and around the coastal bend as far west as Laredo. Executive Director Dr. Daniel Martinez locally says people should download the Red Cross app ahead of the storm because it works without cell service.
If you're going to stay in place, we have stay kits and we have go kits, right? If you're planning on leaving, what are those things that sometimes we just need that reminder, oh, my medical documents, my IDs, do I have a checklist of things, right? So that app is all inclusive of all those types of resources.
The Red Cross expects Beryl to cost them upwards of $1.5 million in emergency response efforts. So they are ready there. As for the thousands of people that are on the coast vacationing, it is in fact a holiday weekend. Patrick said they're not in their normal routine, so they might not be in tune with the news. So if you have any loved ones vacationing on the coast, it's not a bad idea to check in with them. And for people that do live along the coast, only a few areas are issuing mandatory evacuation notices. The town of Quintana in Brazoria County and Refugio County are the only areas we know of right now issuing mandatory evacuations. That being said, Nueces County and Port Aransas have ordered all visitors to evacuate. Meanwhile, take a look at all the shaded counties that you're seeing on your screen here in a second. Aransas, Brazoria, Calhoun, Cameron, Jackson, Kennedy, Clayburgh, Matagorda, Nueces, and San Patricio counties have all issued voluntary evacuations for the people living there. These orders are bound to change, of course, as the storm inches closer to the coast, and you can stay on top of all of those evacuation notices on our website, KSAT.com. As we've been talking about, Matagorda County bracing for that direct impact. That's right between Corpus Christi and Galveston, and it's where Beryl is expected to make landfall. Matagorda County spokesman Mitch Thames says people in low-lying communities along the coast should be prepared for storm surge. That's what Justin was just talking about. He's expecting high water to force roads, even state highways, to shut down. County and city crews are preparing by making sure drainage ditches are clear. For the people choosing to stay, the county is urging them to hunker down and stay home until the storm passes.
Unless it's a life-threatening situation, there's nothing worth you getting out and getting yourself in trouble and then putting our first responders in harm's way trying to assist you.
Again, Matagorda County did issue a voluntary evacuation order to residents, and they're urging people visiting to evacuate too. Now you can stay on top of this storm with KSAT on air and online. Just scan that QR code right there on your screen to go straight to the KSAT weather page where we have you covered before, during, and after Beryl hits.
And of course, parts of the Texas Gulf coastline expected to get hit from Beryl a little bit harder than others. We're going to really break down what different parts could see over the next 24 to 36 hours. And of course, get our full forecast in the Alamo City coming up after the break.
All right, we are staying with Tropical Storm Beryl. This is a live look at Houston. You can tell already nice and gray out there. Lots of, it looks like it's raining. You can see that skyline. No, you can't even see the skyline, Mia.
Nope, heavy tropical downpours. That's what Justin was talking about. They had already driven through some of that today. The outer bands of Beryl starting to move inland. And again, Beryl is just full of that deeper tropical moisture. So when you do tap into some of these downpours, heavy rain and, of course, reduced visibility likely accompany that. I do want to break down parts of the Texas coastline and what different areas could see as Beryl starts to approach over the next 12 hours. You can see, again, the center right now of the latest track from the National Hurricane Center brings it close to the Matagorda Bay area. Hurricane warnings in place for places like Lake Jackson, Port Lavaca, stretching down to Corpus Christi. Tropical storm warnings farther inland. As far as the far eastern portions of where this hurricane warning is in place, specifically near Bay City, they are anticipating heavy rain, 6 to 10 inches, localized higher totals possible, stronger winds peaking in the 60 to 80 mile per hour range with gusts up to 100 miles per hour, and then storm surge in the range of about 4 to 6 feet. That's a little bit of a different story, though. I know we have a lot of folks worried about Rockport, Corpus Christi, not expected to get hit nearly as hard. Still multi-inch totals possible. Some peak wind gusts upwards to 45 miles per hour and about 4 to 6 feet in terms of that storm surge. Certainly possible. I think that could be a little bit lower, though. Let's send things outside with live cam, though, closer to home for us here in San Antonio. Doesn't look anything like Houston. We still have some sunshine. We're going to have a full look at what the Alamo City's forecast looks like for tomorrow right after this. Everybody, we are of course tracking the latest on what is still Tropical Storm Beryl, with its sights set on parts of the Texas coastline, expected to make landfall overnight tonight and very early Monday morning near Matagorda Bay. And this is the latest satellite picture, again moving to the northwest at 12 miles per hour. So it is starting to make that northward turn. You can see that it's churning over very warm waters of the western Gulf of Mexico right now, in the mid to, in some cases, upper 80s. So that is plenty of fuel for the system to feed off of. So that is why it is expected to re-intensify into a Category 1 hurricane before making landfall. You can see here on your futurecast, that's exactly what's expected to happen by about 3 a.m. tomorrow morning. Lake Jackson seeing some of that heavy rain on the backside, the weaker part of this system. Port Lavaca cashing in on some of that as well by about 3 o'clock in the morning, with the center of Beryl expected to pass well east of San Antonio. You can see where all of the heavy rain is also expected to fall along the center and eastern portions of this system. So for us here in San Antonio, throughout the morning and into the early afternoon, a few isolated showers to a downpour certainly possible, but for most of our area, unfortunately, we are just going to miss out thanks to this change in where exactly Beryl is expected to track throughout the day. That is also reflected here as we take a look at the rainfall potential through tomorrow evening. That heavy rain, potentially in some cases flooding rain, expected closer to the Houston, Galveston area, weakening as it tracks through the Brazos Valley near College Station as well as Huntsville. Little to no rain for us here in town, and dry, especially west of the I-35 corridor. So here's what we're expecting for San Antonio and surrounding communities tomorrow. Still breezy, 10 to 20 mile per hour winds, gusting upwards of 25 to 30 possible. If you do cash in on a quick shower or a downpour, a trace to half of an inch possible, with more of us than not staying dry. Better chances of finding rain across our far eastern counties. Looking at you, Hallettsville, Gonzales, Cuero, Yorktown through 5 p.m. A little breezier, 20 to 30 miles per hour sustained, gusting upwards of 60. So if you have any loose outdoor items, make sure those are secured. Rainfall totals up to 3 to 4 inches possible with localized higher amounts. Flood watch also in place for our far eastern counties there too. Briefly did want to mention we do have a quick band of some of these downpours moving through closer to Houston, but now starting to approach Hallettsville and Cuero. So you could find a little bit of that rain here over the next hour or so. 30% potential tomorrow. Temperatures warmer because of that in the 90s. Then more isolated chances continue as Beryl departs the state of Texas. All right, let's send things back out to meteorologist Justin Horn. Monitoring things on the coast just south of Matagorda. Also looks a little breezy out there right now, Justin.
You're right about that. I got my little handy instrument here where I can measure the wind, and I've been measuring it here for the last 10 minutes or so, and it's consistently right in that 15 to 20 mile per hour range with some gusts a little bit higher than that. So winds aren't too out of control just yet. It's a good easterly wind right now, but we know these winds are going to start to pick up here soon. These gusts are going to start to pick up, and the sun is out for the moment. But as I say that, we're getting a few raindrops. So getting a little bit of a mix of everything at the moment. I want to show you something too. I'm going to walk over here. This is, you can kind of see where the tide came up this morning. This is where high tide happened, and that was actually around 10 a.m. this morning. Okay, so low tide actually is forecast to occur later tonight. This is a positive because that's kind of when we expect storm surge to be at its worst. They'll kind of work against each other a little bit. But that said, storm surge is still very much a problem, could be up to 5 feet. And also keep in mind with storm surge, it's not just a water rise. You got waves that batter things that as this higher water comes in, it can cause damage to structures and those kind of things. So that's all things we'll be monitoring as Beryl comes in a little bit later tonight. We're expecting to stay here in Matagorda, but we're going to move a little bit further up to a safer spot once Beryl gets a little bit closer, because this is probably not where you want to be later tonight when a Category 1 hurricane makes landfall. And there's still, as I said, our families out here enjoying the beach at the moment. This is going to change. This is not the place you want to be once the sun goes down tonight, that's for sure. And you have the issue with rip tides and those sort of things too, so you got to be so very careful. We'll continue to bring you updates here from Matagorda, and we'll be listening closely to Mia too as she gives us more information on what's going on with Beryl. But for now, we're going to toss it back to Courtney.
All right, thank you, Justin. Yeah, stay safe out there. Hopefully those families will get out of there soon too. They've been traveling up and down the coast, Tim and Matt, so we appreciate their coverage. We have more Tropical Storm Beryl coverage continuing right after the break. Preparation for this storm also being done here at home. San Antonio nonprofits are preparing to go to the coast as others are leaving. That includes the Salvation Army and the San Antonio Food Bank, which is stocked up and ready to help as soon as they're needed.
You'll have mix of dry goods, pastas, rice, beans. I would say probably dry goods and water is always impacted. Those are typically the two most important. As the water recedes and we have access to some of those areas.
Well, along with food and water, though, the food bank also has hygiene products to hand and send out. San Antonians' position in Texas makes it a key player when it comes to evacuations. We've seen this before. Bexar County and city leaders have been preparing for hurricane season for months, but have obviously gone into overdrive since Beryl popped up on weather radars recently. The entire Gulf Coast looks to San Antonio for help in emergencies, and if necessary, it will be ready to help when Beryl makes landfall. To see what's being done here in San Antonio to prepare for the potential wave of people evacuating the coast, scan the QR code at the bottom corner of your screen. Let's take one look at weather when we come back.
Things are still pretty quiet here in San Antonio, but here's another look at authority radar where one of the outer bands of Beryl is moving through southeast Texas near Houston. A few downpours just east of Cuero and Hallettsville closer to home. Potentially could see some of that move through our eastern counties over the next couple of hours. Until then, monitoring tomorrow. Most of us dry though, Courtney.
All right, Mia and Justin monitoring that for us, especially tonight on the 9th.